Welcome back. So in previous lecture we have seen the introduction of classical and quantum mechanics and what is the basic difference between classical mechanics and quantum mechanics, and how that quantum mechanics is applicable for like various sciences like physics, chemistry, maths, or biology as such. So this quantum mechanics, or rather specifically quantum chemistry, comes under the physical chemistry, and the study of bulk properties of one mole of hydrogen will consisting of what? Classical mechanics. If we are studying the bulk properties, then it will be dealing with the uh, like the classical mechanics we can apply. So in physical chemistry, we can specifically say that the thermodynamics or the statistical thermodynamics is applicable for the studying of our one mole of molecules. Okay, so this is the another one different field that we can relate as a classical mechanics things. So the statistical mechanics is nothing but which is applicable for the bulkier properties of a given system, and if you want to study the macroscopic or small properties of a system, then we have to study by using this quantum mechanics for the single particles. Okay, so for bulk properties we will study the properties based upon the statistical mechanics, and for microscopic or the single particle we will be dealing with the quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanics is related with the single particle, statistical mechanics will be related with the bulk behavior. So like how that various branches of chemistry will utilizes this knowledge of quantum mechanics in order to study the various phenomena that are occurring in the various branches of chemistry. Okay, so first we can say that how that quantum mechanics is applicable into this organic chemistry. Okay, so organic chemistry utilizes the quantum mechanics to estimate the relative stabilities of the molecule, or to calculate the certain reaction intermediate and investigate the mechanism of chemical reaction, and to analyze the NMR data. Okay, so all the things that we are actually dealing in the quantum chemistry is the first we need to like predict which is the most stable molecule or relative stabilities among the given molecule. Then next is the reaction intermediate, then another one is the mechanism, and last one is the what is actually formed in the given product. So for that we need to analyze it by using various spectroscopic techniques. So for relative stabilities, like there are the few softwares or the few computationally uh, available softwares. So based upon that we can predict the relative stabilities as well as mechanism and which path is going to form to give the product. Okay, so these things are like makes the different field of chemistry, like this theoretical chemistry makes the different field which will mainly focusing on the theoretical prediction of our various reactions. Okay, so I'm not going into the details of that part. Okay, so next is the analytical chemistry. So analytical chemistry mainly dealing with what? Spectroscopy. So spectroscopy is all spectroscopic laws, that is there are the certain spectroscopic laws, or we can say that the spectroscopic data which we get has been governed by certain absorption or emission laws. So all of these laws are developed from the time dependent equation of quantum chemistry. Okay, so various spectra are based upon this basic of quantum mechanics. Now next is the inorganic chemistry. So inorganic chemistry uses the that is used to predict the properties of transition metal complexes. Then intra-atomic structure from the quantum mechanics can also be obtained, and whole this that orbits, shape of orbits, or what is the bonding in the given molecule. All of these things are comes from the like shape of s orbital is like spherical. Okay, all of these things can be like we can predict by using our quantum chemistry, and all of these things has been derived from the quantum chemistry, and then it has been divided into the three branches. Okay, so quantum chemistry is like core branch of our first branch of our chemistry. Then from that we have derived the certain equations, and that we apply to the all the four branches. Okay, like organic, analytical, inorganic, and last one is the biochemistry, where the quantum mechanics studies the biological molecules, enzymes, substrate binding, etc. Okay, and all of these important aspects are applicable for the medicinal field. Okay, medicinal fields. So in all, we can say that this quantum mechanics explains the structure, bonding, and reactivity of the chemical substances. This SBR is nothing but structure, bonding, and reactivity of the chemical substances which are taking place into the given system. So the fields which revolve around the studying and interpreting the behavior of electrons. So all of the chemical problems can be easily solved by using this quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanics, which has a great success in providing the general theoretical framework for the chemistry. Okay, so nowadays there is a one separate field like theoretical chemistry, and it is a growing field which mainly focusing on the theoretically studying of each and every aspect of chemistry. Okay, so whatever the things that we can do in the experimental way, that all things can be done also in the theoretical manner first, and we can check whether these theoretical things are feasible or not. Then only we can sort out that things and we get the like some reduced data. Okay, so by using that data we can get to our conclusion in the fast manner. Okay, fast manner. So all of these things are related with the quantum mechanics. Okay, the main thing or the important uh, aspect in your exam point of view is that what are the failure of our classical mechanics. Okay, so from here onwards our actual syllabus is started. So like this classical mechanics is there. Okay, before quantum mechanics, classical mechanics was there, but it could not be explained the certain phenomenon that are occurring into the given system. So in order to explain that phenomenon, we have to introduce the new branch of mechanics, that is quantum mechanics. So first we will see the what are that phenomenon which could not be explained by classical mechanics, and how that quantum mechanics helps to explain that phenomenon one by one. Okay, so there are the like five phenomena as there. So one is the black body radiation, next one is the photoelectric effect, next one is the Compton effect, then certainly atomic spectra is there, and next is the heat capacity is there. Okay, so these are the five five phenomenon which could not be explained on the basis of our classical mechanics. So there is one quote like classical mechanics gives the laws of motion of macroscopic object, whereas classical quantum mechanics will gives you the motion of our microscopic object. Okay, so first we will see the failure of our classical mechanics for the black body radiation. Okay, black body radiation. So what do you mean by that black body? So black body is like once you have apply certain radiations onto their physical body, so it will be absorb almost all the radiations which fall on the it. So the black body is nothing but, if suppose there is a one object onto which we have uh, applying certain radiations. Okay, radiations, so all of the radiations are falling on that object, get absorbed. Okay, get absorbed. So there is a black body is a idealized physical body that will absorb and emits the radiation of all the frequencies. So it will absorb all frequencies, means any radiations which are falling on that body is get absorbed, and we know that like anything which can absorb will also be able to emit that radiations or emit that radiations again. So classical mechanics gives the an equation which will describe the intensity of black body radiations as a function of wavelength. Okay, for a fixed temperature. The result is okay. So what is expected here, that for the given black body we can say that the intensity, so here you can say that here energy or intensity is there, and here is the wavelength. So for black body we can say that we should get the intensity constant. Okay, for intensity for all the wavelength we should get the constant value of intensity for all wavelength. Okay, because we have absorbed the all the radiation. So once we have absorbed all the radiation on the that black body, so it should also emit the same wavelength with the same intensity. But in actual practice it is not likewise. Okay, so in actual practice what happen, we get the certain peak. Here you can see that there are the peaks for the various temperature. Okay, so we can say that this emission intensity is depending upon the temperature. Okay, emission intensity is depending upon the temperature. So according to classical mechanics, what we will be expecting, that the intensity should remain constant at particular temperature. Intensity should remain constant for all the wavelength. But in actual practice, we don't get that curve, but actually we get the uh, peak at particular wavelength, peak at particular wavelength. Okay, and rest of there there is a uneven distribution of our intensity. So how we can explain that? So for that two scientists have predicted. So one is the Rayleigh-Jeans law. Okay, Rayleigh-Jeans law. So according to this law, so according to this law we can say that, according to this law we can say that the Rayleigh-Jeans law gives the information for this rule is applicable for the low value of our, okay, low value of our wavelength. Okay, so for initial curve this law is applicable, and another one is law is that Vane's law. Okay, this Rayleigh-Jeans law is applicable at a low value of our wavelength, and for higher value of wavelength the rule which is applicable is the Vane's law. Okay, so Vane's law is applicable at higher wavelength.